The fog rolled in thick and suffocating, swallowing the cobbled streets of my quiet village. I clutched the letter in my hand, its wax seal bearing a crest I didn't recognize, a dragon impaled on a cross. It was an invitation, or rather, a summons. A wealthy nobleman, Count Dracula, required my services as a librarian to catalogue his vast collection. The pay was exorbitant, enough to save my family from ruin. Against my better judgment and the fearful whispers of the villagers, I packed my bags. The journey to the Carpathian Mountains was unsettling. The land grew wilder, the forests darker, and the people more suspicious. They'd cross themselves at the mention of Dracula's name, their eyes wide with a terror they wouldn't explain. My carriage, arranged by the Count, finally arrived at Borgo Pass as twilight bled across the sky. Another carriage, black as a raven's wing and pulled by 4 powerful black stallions, awaited me. The driver was a looming figure, his face hidden in shadow, and he spoke not a single word. The castle was a monstrous silhouette against the moon, a jagged crown of stone and shadow. It felt ancient, malevolent. Inside, the air was cold and heavy with a scent of dust and something else. Something metallic and sweet. I was led through cavernous halls lined with portraits whose eyes seemed to follow me. There was no sign of any servants, no life at all, save for the flickering torches that cast dancing, monstrous shadows on the walls. Then, I met him. Count Dracula emerged from the darkness, tall and gaunt, yet possessing an unnatural strength in his grip. His face was pale, his lips unnervingly red. He was courteous, his voice a low, hypnotic rumble. He spoke of history, of battles long past, and of his lineage with a fierce, burning pride. He showed me the library, a magnificent, circular room filled with thousands of books, many ancient and bound in leather I didn't recognize. He told me I could go anywhere in the castle, except for certain locked doors. Curiosity, I was warned, could be a fatal flaw. The days blurred into a strange routine. I worked in the library, the Count my only companion. He would visit me only after sunset, engaging in long philosophical conversations. He was brilliant, but there was a coldness to him, a predatory stillness that made my skin crawl. I never saw him eat or drink. The meals prepared for me were lavish, but they always appeared as if by magic. I was a guest, he insisted, but the massive doors of the castle were always locked. I was a prisoner. One night, driven by annoying unease, I broke his rule. I found a key and unlocked one of the forbidden doors. It led to a crypt deep beneath the castle. The air was frigid and foul. Inside, I found several large wooden boxes filled with earth. In one of them lay the Count, but he was not sleeping. His eyes were open, glassy and lifeless, yet his lips were smeared with fresh wet blood. He looked younger, his pale skin flushed with a horrifying vitality. It was then that I understood the villagers' fear, the locked doors, the absence of life in this castle. The stories were true. Panic seized me. I had to escape. I spent my days feigning diligence in the library while secretly searching for a way out. Every night, the Count's politeness grew thinner, his eyes holding a hungry, possessive glint. I could feel my life force draining away, my nights plagued by nightmares of 2 small puncture wounds on my neck and a dark figure leaning over me. My chance came during a storm that rattled the very foundations of the castle. I found a small barred window in a forgotten storeroom. Using a loose iron rod, I managed to pry the bars apart, the screech of metal lost in the thunder. I squeezed through the narrow opening, cutting myself on the jagged stone, and dropped into the churning darkness of the castle moat below. The icy water shocked my system, but fear propelled me. I swam, scrambling onto the muddy bank, and ran. I didn't look back. I just ran, the sound of inhuman rage echoing from the castle behind me, a promise of a hunt that had just begun. My freedom was temporary, I knew. He would not forget the librarian who escaped his grasp, and he would come for me. Thanks for listening. If you enjoy stories that lurk in the shadows, be sure to subscribe for more tales of terror. Stay safe out there.